Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome to my sixth episode of my FIFA 13 Barnet career. Um, Basically, what's happened is I've lost a bit of footage from the start of the season, but you'll be pleased to know I won both my league games at the start of the season, or at least I think I did. I'm trying to remember now. I think I won one 1-0 and one 2-0 or 2-1, something like that. But luckily, I managed to uh, keep footage from this match, which is a League Cup first round game against Millwall. In fact, no, this is the second round. I won my first round match. That's right. Sorry about this. It was literally as I was coming to edit my videos, I suddenly realised that I had lost a bunch of footage, which is incredibly annoying. Because it also means I've lost a lot of footage of me signing new players. But you'll see from the way I line this team up how much of my team has actually changed. Although I think I'd play a semi-reserve team against Millwall, which you might say is a bit of a risk. But truth be told, I didn't realise this match was coming up at the time, and then suddenly I had to go into a game with a fringe squad. You can see new players there like Stoger and Chimacero, and Zog was there as well. I think I had Singh in defence. I've also got Samosa. I think that's all of the new signings. Thinking about it. But yeah, I talking before about having strength in depth and having a really strong reserve team as well as a good starting 11, and I really feel like I've achieved that now with these guys. The fact that I can have a really strong starting 11 and a strong bench, whereas normally I'd have a really strong starting 11 and then sort of a weakish bench, sort of making up the numbers sort of thing. I've got two cams now. I had someone comment on my video saying about getting a reserve cam. Well, they'll be pleased to know I've got two reserve cams now. Although I do plan on using LeQuint as a midfielder still, as he can do the job. He's got good touch, he's got good control. He has the general abilities that you'd expect from a midfielder as well as a striker. So anyway, got Millwall in the second round of the League Cup. And the way I was playing the pre-seasons, you'd expect this game to be a bit of a walkover, and Millwall would win quite comfortably. But I actually used pre-season as a way of seeing which part of my teams need strengthening, and as I've said, I've strengthened in the right areas. I'm keeping Tim Payne up front. I think he's going to be my leading striker for the season. I've got John Nurse as backup, and I've got a couple of others who can play there. LeQuint as well, of course, can play as a striker. So yeah, I feel confident enough that I've got enough strikers. And you know, if Payne stays in form, there's a chance that I won't need to use the other strikers. But you can never be too careful when it comes to playing as a league career mode, because at any moment one of your key players can get injured, and if you haven't got anyone covering for them, then you're kind of screwed really, because it's not like Football Manager where you can sign players outside of the transfer window, or even PES where you can make signings but they can't join until the next transfer window starts. Once the transfer window is shut here, you can't even look at players, never mind sign them. So you really need to make sure that your team is strengthened and covered in the right areas before the transfer window shuts, because the second it slams shut, it stays shut for 6 months or 5 months, however long it's not open for. So you can see in this match I've had a good strong start. Millwall haven't really had that many chances. They have barely got the ball in my half. I've had a couple of shots at goal already. And then this happens. You can see it was a bad challenge actually. I'm surprised the referee didn't blow for a foul for it, but I wasn't expecting Henry to stay down injured, and I certainly wasn't expecting him to have to go off injured, which meant a drop ball. And this is something I do like about FIFA, is the way they have the pullback for injuries and the way they have the drop ball. Although actually I was playing in an offline match, I think it was just yesterday actually, and I had a drop ball, but instead of kicking it back to my goalkeeper, the guy who had the ball dropped to him decided to pass it to his teammate, and they very nearly scored from it. So unless there's a bug in the software or the guy was just an arse, something needs looking at there for that rule, because I'm sure that on a drop ball you're meant to kick it back to the other team. But you know, I'm not a referee, so I don't know the full rules. Maybe someone can tell me. But yeah, I mean, we've dominated so far. 17 minutes in, and the ball has barely been in my half, which, you know, considering how badly I played in the pre-season games, I'm really, really positive about that. I'm really pleased with it. Because, you know, if they can't get in my half, unless they've got Xabi Alonso in their team, they're not likely to score from inside their own half. So to keep them contained, I'd say is a pretty good thing. However, it's no good containing them just for the first 20 minutes. You've got to do it for the rest of the match as well. So, you know, as positive as it is, until I'm a goal up, I'm always going to be sort of on the edge, nervous with anticipation, as it were. And you can actually see here now, they're definitely starting to get the ball forward a lot more. And it's only because I'm playing the offside trap that they didn't actually get a chance to run through on goal there. So I'm pleased with my defenders there, actually, because that is a very, very close call. And it could have gone either way. If the linesman hadn't have spotted that, there was no chance of my defenders actually catching up, because they were all still running forward as the striker was running in behind. You may have noticed, actually, that my passing, the way I'm sliding the ball through their defence, it's a lot better. You've still got the odd bad one, like that one there, which inexcusable, to be honest. But, you know, generally playing it into feet, I'm starting to play it into feet a lot more. I need to trust my players' touch more. I know I've criticised my players in the past, saying they've got really bad first touch. But at some point, that first touch is going to improve, because every single player on my team, their stats are going to improve at some point during this season. So the only way I'm going to find out who's better and who isn't is to try it. So I'm going to keep playing the ball into feet. I'm going to keep giving myself shooting opportunities like that. I like that little turn and shot. It might not be the most productive way of scoring, but providing the ball ends up sort of on goal, it doesn't really matter too much. You know, if it takes a small deflection, it could still fall to one of your other players. So yeah, the referee's given me a free kick, and free kicks for me on FIFA are not my specialty. I have a little tactic which I normally employ, but for this one I wanted to see how well Edgar Davids can actually hit a free kick, considering he's supposedly my best free kick taker. And as you can see, he couldn't even get over the wall, sort of cannoned off and went out. That corner, actually, I'm impressed with that. The way he ran onto it. Okay, the header wasn't on target and it wasn't a corner or anything like that, but the way he ran onto it and the way I picked out the space, if I can do that all season, I can see myself getting about 5 or 6 goals maybe from corners directly. If I play it a bit more clever, I could get it up to maybe 7 or 8 corners. But I'm not the best at set pieces on FIFA. I'm not the best at set pieces on PES. In theory, I know how a set piece should work. Once I'm doing it in the game, like trying to pick out how hard to kick the ball, where the players should be standing and things like that, it's really not my thing. You know, if anyone has any advice for set pieces, or they just want to rip it out of me because I can't take free kicks, then feel free. Comments section below. You know, I read all comments, as I've said before. I reply to most comments unless they're really vulgar, let's say, in which case they'll most likely get reported and blocked, and you know, the usual. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think about my set pieces, and if there's anything I'm doing wrong, how I can improve, and you know, feel free to say about my general play as well, because I'm always looking to learn. And you know, as long as I'm learning, my gameplay gets better, which means I can produce better videos, which means you guys can be, well, better entertained, to put it frankly. You saw that shot there, just wide. Again, like, I let them have their little bit of possession, and then suddenly I launch a counter-attack and nearly score from it. So, you know, it's all about sort of making the most of the ball when you've got it, as well as trying to hold on to the ball for as long as you possibly can. Now, this run here from Samosa I liked a lot. And if that ball across the box was just a little bit better and a little bit crisper, we could have been looking at 1-0 Barnet, which, you know, for this match would have been an absolute shock. Right, you'll notice we're getting to the end of the video, and that is because, as I have done in one of my more recent PES videos, I have decided to cut this game in half. The reason being, it keeps the videos nice and short, so no one gets bored watching them. And it also gives me like a chance for you to comment on my first half, and then for you to comment on my second half. So the next video will be going up shortly after this one. But yeah, until next time guys, I will see you soon.